I'm gonna follow up with you until you hang up and tell me never to contact you again, or you jump on a call with me. Say that if you are in the local space, scrape your entire list, run it on ChatGPT, and then add a column with the city of where they're at so it can be even more personalized and be like, hey, I'm looking for someone in this city. And if there are like an old client, like for example, this is how we were able to, just through this message, reactivate 3 old clients in 1 single month.
Welcome back to Growth Lab Sessions. I'm Joao, CEO of Stealth White Label Agency, and my mission is simple: to help marketing agencies grow and build sustainable success. Today's guest is someone who embodies that perfectly. He's the founder and CEO of The Digital Smile, an agency that helps dental practices dominate the Spanish-speaking market, from building systems that generated tens of thousands of patient inquiries to scaling a high-performance team across countries. He's redefining how niche agencies can grow through authenticity and structure. Gabriel Segall, welcome to Growth Lab Sessions. Are you ready to take it to the lab?
Hey man, thank you for having me.
All right, awesome. Well, let's kick things off with you telling us a little bit about your background.
Sure. So to kind of like give you a little bit about my background, growing up in Venezuela, I kind of like grew up in an environment where kind of like, I think it was very similar like you, like growing up in Latin America, where this thing about having a safe job doesn't exist like people have in the US or Europe. So you kind of like have to figure out things on your own. So I think that from day one for me, it was always like, okay, I might get a job for like a very short period of time, but I gotta figure out how to make ends meet on my own, because there's not such thing as like having success with some sort of job. So with that, the first company that I started was actually like I did Amazon FBA for like a year with one of my best friends. We did that for a year, then it failed. After that, I'm like, well, I'm not getting a fucking job. I'm not sure if I can swear or you have to blur this out.
Yeah.
So then I had a friend who like got me into like the agency world, and that's when I got into this. And at the beginning I was doing like, I didn't focus on that like one niche sort of thing because I also didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like helping like restaurants and real estate developers and construction companies and e-com. And then I landed into dental, kind of clicked. We started getting more clients and more results, and that kind of like got into this snowball effect to where we are today.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And I know that you call yourself Venezuelish, right? Like that's a unique mix. Tell us a little bit about that, just so everybody can understand a little bit more about your background.
Yeah, so my dad is Venezuelan, my mom is Swedish, so I have kind of that mix. I can speak fluently both languages. Lived in this point maybe like in 6, 7 different countries over these past 29 years, about to turn 30.
Okay, that's super fun. Um, do you identify yourself more with the Venezuelan background or the Swedish one?
100% the Venezuelan background. No, the
Oh, really?
Swedish, the only thing I like is the weather. I really enjoy cold weather and like cold weather sports. I hate.
Bro, you grew up in hot weather, right?
Yeah, I grew up in like, I wouldn't say hot weather because Caracas is a very, it's the same weather throughout the year. It's like very, have you been to Medellin?
Yeah.
So it's like very similar weather. You get like maybe like 24, 25 degrees Celsius all year round. Maybe we'll get to like 30 in the summer and like 20 in the winter. But yeah, here in Madrid, where now I'm based at for the past 7 years, it gets horribly hot in the summer and I can't stand it. And that's why I'll go away all summer.
Yeah. So that's your base. It's Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Dude, I actually forgot to tell you this because we haven't chatted much. And for context, Gabriel and I met at the agency founders event, right? And recently saw each other in Cancun or Cabo. Was it Cancun or Cabo?
It's Cancun.
Cancun. I was confused the two. In June in an event, which was super cool. And we're probably going to see each other in Dubai, right, in January. So we'll see about that. But before Dubai, there's something that I'm doing, which is spending 3 weeks in Venezuela.
You
in
are.
Caracas, because they have a air tunnel where you can practice skydiving, right? So like skydivers train in an air tunnel so they can be coached on doing different tricks, you know? And so Caracas has like world renowned air tunnel, so, which is better than the air tunnel in Brazil. It's like probably the best one in South America. So I'm going there with my coach to train for a few weeks.
Nice. Well, you have to travel outside of Caracas if you get
Yeah,
there.
I think a little bit.
The trip that you have to do is that you have to go to Canaima, which is that you go to the Angel Falls.
But that's for skydiving or for the air
No, no,
tunnel?
no. That's just for like a nature trip to see like part
Oh,
of
I
the
have to do
unique.
that. Okay.
Like if
Okay.
you're already in Venezuela, at least like go for like 3, 4 days, like take a weekend, and let's
Yeah.
say you're gonna be training like 21 days straight, and go and do that because that's probably one of the most unique places in the world that you'll be able to see.
Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'll definitely hit you up after the pod to get some more ideas. But I'm also thinking about Los Roques in March,
Yeah,
which has like the best kite surfing in like, the world. It's beautiful there. Have you heard about it?
yeah, yeah. In
Yeah.
terms of like, yeah, because it's a very unique place. Because also the sand is cold. The sand doesn't get hot, so you have
Hmm.
like white sand, crystal blue water. Ah, it's amazing.
Oh, I'm so stoked, dude. Maybe you can like we can link up. Maybe you can do a trip when I'm
Yeah,
going,
I'll be down.
Okay. You still have family in Venezuela?
I have my uncles, but they spend mostly like 2 to 3 months a year there. They have one
Okay.
son in Panama, the other son is in Miami. They have grandchildren now, so they spend most of the time away, especially with the situation now.
Is it not safe to go there?
I wouldn't say it's not safe. You just have to have the right context. Like, I wouldn't go randomly to this country if you don't know people.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Sounds like I should talk to you offline about this.
I'll link you
But
up.
okay, cool. Well, we're speaking of offline, going back to the online, right? You have your agency called the Digital Smile. Tell us a little bit more about the niche and the services that you provide.
Sure. So with our agency, the main thing that we do is that we focus on helping dental practices tap into the Hispanic market. So we really help them break into the Hispanic market. And the whole idea came from one of my mentors. We also realized like you and me, we're in a very saturated market. So the same way that like agency owners are on a consistent daily basis looking up, okay, how can I stand out above everyone else? Dentists are doing the exact same thing because they literally do the exact same thing as everybody else. Even nowadays, they work with the same brands. Like they all do Invisalign. It's like, why would I go with you? You literally have the same product. You work with the same lab. I'm just gonna go with the cheapest option because you offer the exact same product. So dentists also have to find a way to like stand out and be unique. And most dentists are not gonna go the route of let me build this massive personal brand online because they don't want to do it. They don't even want to be on camera. So that's when we came up with this idea. It's like, wait, what if we just help them? Because I had this background when I started this agency that before I got into the US market, I started in Spain. So that's where I got my first clients. I started in Spain. The market here is horrible. Nobody wants to invest. They're not as aggressive and as ambitious as people in the US. Then we got into the market in Mexico, and they had a very similar mindset as the American market, but the problem is that they don't have the financial capabilities that they have in the US. And also for the patient. So we would have practice that we would send out, I don't know, let's say 50 people, like 50 patients walking in through the door for like Invisalign. It's a huge amount, and doing that in a couple of months. And the issue is that they would barely close because patients could not afford it, and there's no financing options in Mexico for treatments like this. So that's when somebody brought this idea. It's like, wait, what if we just grab and do the exact thing that we're doing for the Spanish market and the Latin American market and just bring it to the US market, which is literally 20% of the US population is Hispanic at this point. And it's going to be 25% by 2030. So we realized that we had an opportunity there where, I mean, nowadays there's quite a few people that have copied our model. But the way that we were able to scale was that we were first to market, and literally like our ads at the beginning were like, I so like laugh at them because they were like the most simple thing in the world of like a red like Canva background and just some simple text, and that got us all the leads because just the fact that we had this offer that nobody else was doing, that's what got into this market. Obviously nowadays it's way more competitive a couple of years now down the road, but we realized that that's what they needed, and that's what we've been able to help a lot of these dentists, because even nowadays in most of the markets that we go in, yes, there's some competition, but most people, at least like on the dental space, most of their dental competitors are not doing what we are doing, and that helps them like get into this market and get more patients in.
So how long did you spend pivoting the agency in the dental niche until you found this sub niche that you're in?
So I would say that for the first
A quick break in the podcast to tell you about Stealth, my white label marketing agency. If you're an agency owner and feeling stuck in fulfillment, hiring, and team management while trying to scale, this is for you. Stealth helps agency owners like you take fulfillment off your plate so you can focus on growth of your agency, from running ad campaigns and SEO to creating high converting content and managing CRMs. We handle the back end for your clients so you don't have to. Whether you're drowning in client work or struggling to scale your agency, Stealth gives you the support you need to scale without the headache. And if that sounds like a fit, then check out our website link in the description and book a time to speak with a consultant. And now back to the pod.
2 years of our agency journey, we were pivoting between multiple niches. Like I would try one niche for 6 months, that didn't work. Let me try. So I wasn't one of those guys that let me try like 4 or 5 at the same time, but I would do like one niche for 6 months. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try another one for 6 months. The reality is like, look, all of them work. It's just that it didn't click for me and I just switched. But it's not that e-com doesn't work. You can easily start an e-com agency nowadays and make millions there. You can start an agency for realtors, for constructors. Like all of these niches work, but for me it was more, I'm gonna give it 6 months. If I don't see significant growth, especially at the beginning when you're starting out, I'm gonna move on to a different niche. So probably for the first 2 years, that's when we were pivoting between niches. Then in like 2021, that's when we got into dental heavily and just focused on that for a year between Spain and Mexico. And then that's when we got in about 2022, that's when we got fully focused into the US market.
Wow. So that's awesome, man, because you spent 6 months actually trying to make something work as opposed to like flip-flopping between them every like, I don't know, month or so, right? 6 months is definitely a good go before you can, test enough to be like, all right, I got to move on. Now, when you were testing different offers, different, niches or markets or countries, how much of the offer did you change? And like, I'm talking about like the offer that you're running on the ads or that you're running for like cold outbound outreach messages.
I think that with offers, that's something that you have to consistently look for new models because offers burn out. And sometimes we will try an offer and it works for 30 days, then the next 30 days it doesn't work, and then we have to try a new offer. And it can be a small little tweak, like, okay, let me offer this extra thing for free if you jump into our service. Let me see if I just focus on all my ads on a specific treatment because I know that now dentists want to see this type of patient. But that also doesn't mean that, hey, if an offer burns out, that later down the line, maybe 3 or 6 months later, it can work again. So what I would say with offers is that consistently try if something is working, keep on pushing it and scale it. Always have a secondary offer already prepared and start running it. And then if it burns out, just give it a couple of months and try it again, because you never know that an offer that maybe worked for a few months, it stopped working, and then later on, 6 months down the line, you give it a try again, and it works again, because people are interested in that offer again. Or maybe that offer is not as saturated at that point.
So how do you find new offers to test in the dental market?
How do we find? I think that a lot of has to do with talking with the mentors and coaches that I have, and then just having that brainstorming with my team. And then at the end of the day, it's just testing it, because you could be so sure that, hey, this is the offer that is going to kill it, and then it doesn't do it. So you have to test it, put it out into the market, and see how it responds. So don't get too stuck on the offer. Test out multiple offers, see what works for you, and then keep on adapting keep on adapting with what the market is responding to.
Right. Now, when it comes to being in the dental niche, right? That's a very providing agency services for the dental niche. That's a niche that's been, super competitive for a while now. And you're still in the niche, you're still killing it, you're growing in the niche, right? How do you differentiate yourself today, and how are you always staying ahead in this niche that is so competitive?
I think that the main thing has to do with offers. See what's in the market, what is nobody launching right now. And then I think it comes down a lot with the sales team that you have, and being extremely efficient with your follow-up and closing. Because all of these dentists are going to, whatever you put out there, they're going to be contacting 4, 5, 6 different agencies. You just gotta make sure that when they fill out the form, like, I know that a lot of people say like contact them in 5 minutes or less. Our goal is to contact them in 60 seconds or less, as long as it's within working hours. Like, I'm not gonna call someone at 10 p.m. And then I've also managed my team so they work in different hours. So we hit, at least on Easter, because we work on Eastern time, and we want to hit from 8 a.m. till about 7, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So with our sales team, we try to hit almost every range of the hours that we can call, so that we have that chance of calling them right away. And then through that, we also have our follow-up systems in place with text and email to make sure that we can get them right away, and that the email and the text follow-ups can do their job if nobody's there.
Okay. So it sounds like you're perfected the sales side, right, of like your specific niche. And since it's so competitive, you got to be super on top of it, right? So let's take a step back, because you kind of like talked about it a little bit here and there about your sales process. Let's step back a little bit and walk through the funnel right now. So you have the ad, right? You're testing different offers. You're staying ahead of other dental marketing agencies, looking at what competitors are doing and staying ahead of them in the ad side, right, with the offer. Now, as soon as somebody opts in or books a call, you said that you have to follow up, your sales team has to follow up in 60 seconds or less, right? Walk us through the general structure as much as you can share in terms of that follow-up and that call, and then the follow-ups that you do with your team after the call.
Perfect. So when it comes to the ad side of thing, we don't make it too complex. We either have like lead forms in place, or we have ads in place which are straight conversion ads to booking a call. Even if someone books a call, we call them right away. And then we don't open the window for booking a call more than 48 hours. Because if you leave it open for more than 48 hours, people usually don't show up. You want to call them either on the same day, the next day, or maximum 48 hours after they opt in when it comes to booking the call. But a lot of people will be like, oh, I'll have a call tomorrow. And then they wait tomorrow and then they don't show up. No, I call them right away. Because here's the thing, if they just fill out the form, they are free right now. They're distracted on their phone. Nobody is going to be looking at an ad when they're busy. So if you're free right now, you at least have a couple of minutes to speak with me, to either talk with me right now, and then I'll try to get that book time as my demo. Because if you booked a call with me for like 15, 30 minutes, that means at that time you can be maybe in front of your computer. So what we try to do is, let's have the call right now, because you just opted in, you're free, and let's grab that time as our demo call to show you the entire audit and the system for you. So that will be the first thing that we do. And then if they don't pick up, we usually have maybe about a 5 to 6 text message sequence that we send and email, We also iMessage people if they don't reply. So if it doesn't work through text, we go through iMessage. And we make sure that we have a lot of people give up on their leads too quickly. I want to make sure that in about 5 business days, we hit at least 12 touch points or 12 calls and 6 to 7 text messages. If at that point nobody replies, we just move them to a column that we call no answer, and then we follow up after that once a month.
Wow. And then
Try
how
to
is
not
the
give up
follow
on
up?
any-
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we just try to not give up on any lead at all.
Yeah. No, I love, talking to agency owners in very competitive niches because you're just so dialed in, right? Every step of the funnel. Now, what is your lead? What is the conversion rate of a lead that books and a lead that shows up on the call or that you connect with, right? Let's say they don't show up on the call, but let's say you call them right away. I guess here's a better question. You have a no call pipeline stage, right? You have a no, what'd you call it? Your pipeline stage?
That's someone that
No
we've
answer.
called at least 12 times and succeeded
Right. But
and no response at all.
so how many people go to your no answer pipeline stage?
I would say that you're probably gonna get at least 50%.
50?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like our goal and the way that we make an ROI, if we can get 10 to 15% of our leads into a demo, that's good enough for us. Here's the thing, if I get someone on the phone, it's 80% chance I'm gonna get them on a demo. They're gonna have 75 to 80% show up rate, and we'll have 40 to 40, I think about 43 last month. Yeah, about 40 to 45% close rate on anyone that shows up to a demo. So I don't need to talk with everyone. There's gonna be a lot of people who are just intrigued if you have a really good ad, but they're not ready. They're like, oh, I
Right.
like the shiny object syndrome. But they don't answer because they're either too busy or they might even be scared. It's like, wow, this guy's gonna sell me and I'm not even ready to get sold yet. So we still have like a nurturing sequence where you just get value every 3 days from us. So our sequence on the back end for email is that in the first 5 days it's 1 email per day, and after that they get 3 emails a day. Sorry, 1 email every 3 days for life, literally, until you either buy or opt off.
Right. I love it. Now, for the people that show up, right, you're saying that you have a pretty good close rate, about 40% of the people that show up. What is
Show
your
up.
demo like?
If they show up to the demo,
Yeah. What is your demo like?
our demo, I try to do as much research as possible on the client, and I'm not gonna spend half an hour. I'll spend, what I've realized before is that I would even have like this trained GPT that would go and do a whole background check. And for some reason, when I did that, my close rate was less. And I don't know why.
Uh,
Because I'm like, I'm gonna show up fully prepared, everything about this guy. I know his hobbies, I know everything. And I'm like, huh. And then I stopped doing it, and I just went back to, I'm just gonna read my setter's notes, and that's it. Because I know my avatar so well right now that I know what everybody needs, and it's very, very similar across the board on their pain points, why they're here, what are their desires. 80 to 90% of them want the same thing. Like there's the exact same reason of why they want more patients or why they want more revenue. And as long as you know that, and then get into the call and ask the right questions, and then get the sale, I think that part becomes simple and simpler. And also it's just the experience about at this point doing hundreds and hundreds. I mean, at this point, I don't know how many calls I've taken, but probably close to 1,000 or even more. I don't know.
yeah. So what's your sales team like?
Sales team right now is 1 setter, 1 closer, and we're looking to hire another setter and another closer in the next 30 days.
How many sales calls do you take a week?
It varies, but I would say maybe we'll take about 30, not per week, but if we're talking about on a monthly basis, we try to take about 40 to 50 a month.
But that's like your whole team. Do you take sales calls?
I still take sales calls now. I mean, I just had a closer that left, so I'm taking a few sales calls until we get back and I can have someone take on these calls again.
Is your closer US based?
No.
Where?
The one that we had before was he was from Latin America, but then he lived in Europe, so it was in Ireland, and then the guy that we're looking to hire right now is in Colombia.
Colombia, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sales team is in Brazil. It has worked out for us. We have a team of four closers. So in the beginning, before hiring any closers and doing sales myself, I was kind of worried that, well, are you selling to Spanish-speaking dentists or American, right? That want to tap into
I'd
yeah,
say that one out of every 20 is a Spanish-speaking dentist. Most of them is, I don't speak a lot of Spanish, but I have my team. Like 80% of my team is Hispanic. They all speak, and we want to tap into this market. So
right.
that's more or less like our ideal client, I'd say.
Okay. Now, you said something about AI, right? It's been a hot topic for this whole year and the year before. What else are you doing with AI in your agency?
Let's see. Right now, we're trying to build a full department because when it comes to calling all the leads for our clients, I know that there's already like AI B2B setters, but I don't want to get into that yet. I like the team that we have right now. Probably gonna test this in a bit, but for now, we're looking to build right now our full our full call center to be fully based on AI, because they can literally call 24/7 and we can train them on what to say. And then I think that we can get our margins up a lot by doing that. And as long as they can hit the same KPIs, or I believe they can even hit better KPIs, and provide a better service for our clients because we can get them more appointments, then we'll get there. We already have in place an AI chatbot that can have full conversations with patients and even get them to pay upfront for the consult, all through text. Then obviously we use all automations too, like Zapier, Make, and NA, and that can help us just build an insane volume of automations. I mean, I wouldn't say that these tools are AI, and I wouldn't say that it's AI. It's more like an automation tool, but they work with other tools. And then obviously my team uses like systems like Claude to write code, Claude to write all the copy for the clients. We have a tool called Poppy in place that also helps us like build like entire strategies for clients, and that can all be automated for every client. So we're consistently, one of the team members that I have is, your job is that every month you have to look at what's out there and what can we benefit from on a consistent basis.
So it sounds like a lot of it is fulfillment for you. Like AI, using a lot of AI for fulfillment, right? In terms of like the work that you're doing for your clients, copy, creatives, right? But you also the automations, right? Like the like the SDR work. Sounds like you're doing a lot via AI, correct? Okay. And you said that AI is even collecting payment via SMS. How does that work?
So it's fairly simple. If you have through your CRM, you have a custom value with the payment, like the unique payment link that you have for that specific client. It has all the conversation and hits all the check marks of the questions that we need to ask them to make sure that they're qualified. They get to the end where it's time to book the appointment, and then we tell them like, hey, by the way, before we book the appointment, it is mandatory for you to pay the consult up front. So it sends the link, and the ideal thing is that you would have like the API of every single Stripe account of your clients to then be able to receive that notification. But you can just simply ask them like, hey, is the payment confirmed? Yes. And then we always, just to make it simple right now, we just ask them like, hey, what do you see on your screen? And then as long as they say the right keywords, which we know what it says on the thank you page, then we mark it as a confirmed payment. And then it just automates the process. We get a Slack message, the lead moves right into into the booked appointment column. And then we have our team book the appointment directly on their PMS. That still we do it, just because a lot of dentists will have very old systems that are not cloud-based and doesn't allow us to like integrate with our automations.
Okay. And are you using high level for your clients?
Yeah, all
Okay.
the fulfillment and all the CRM, SMS, all that is all through high level.
Nice. And you know, something interesting that you mentioned is that you have specific people inside of your company that is in charge of looking at new AI stuff. How does that work?
I mean, it's very simple. I have just one VA in the company and just have her look at YouTube videos, look at newsletters, look what's out there, what's new, figure out. And if you see something that you find interesting, just bring it up to me and I can like kind of guide you if we feel that this could be a good fit for the company.
Nice. But do you have a specific KPI set with them?
No, for now it's not a KPI. I think that there's a lot of noise out there, and I don't think there's a need for like set a KPI of like we need to onboard at least one new system a month. It's more like look what's out there, and if you feel that it can solve at least one of the issues that we have, then bring it onto the team so we can test it.
Mm. All right. And I'm assuming that this VA needs to know about a lot of the operations and systems that you have internally. Like, is
Yeah.
this one of your older VAs? Like, how, you know, somebody listening to this and thinking, man, I would love to do something like that in my agency. How, you know, like, walk us through that a little bit more.
Sure. So first of all, there's someone that has been on my team for over 3 years now. So she has a good idea of how, and she's been on the front end and the back end. So she has a full idea of what is that we need. I also guided her at the beginning of like, hey, here are the top 20 tools that I see right now that I feel that it could be a good fit. Look them up and see and give me your opinion on these tools. So now you have an idea of what is my thought process when it comes to onboarding new AIs. And then I just go on her judgment on what she believes can help us.
Yeah, cool. This is awesome, man. I love how you have everything set in your agency. How many team members do you have currently?
12.
12. Okay.
And we're looking to
And
bring on 3 more in the next 30 days.
cool. Now, in terms of you know, AI and automations, right? You're generating a lot of leads via advertising. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that you have a CRM with a lot of old leads that, you know, didn't close or didn't show up to call, right? You have like 3 years plus worth of leads in your CRM. What are some of the ways that you have leveraged those leads in terms of reactivating them to turn the, you know, cold or like dead leads into revenue for your agency?
So consistently running at least one reactivation campaign to all the leads that are open. So that would mean for me is any leads that we've never spoke to, anyone that we've spoken to, anyone that we went into a demo and didn't close, anyone that is on nurture, on follow-up. I wouldn't say the unqualified list. That's the only thing that I would take out, and I'll share in a second what I do with that. But all the rest of the leads from the cold email that we run, the DMs that we run, the Facebook ads, we try to run one campaign per month and try to come up with a different offer every month. If it's like, hey, we're gonna give you X discount, we're gonna give you a month for free on X service, or really look, okay, what is it that they really want right now? So for us, we started adding like SEO was one of our services. So we're like, hey, if you end up jumping on this, on our SEO program, we'll give you X for free for 30 days. And this is something that I learned from Eddie, from the mastermind that we went, is that usually like the shiny object that they want is not like the most heavy when it comes to fulfillment. So it's more give them what they want for free and then sell them what they need.
Okay. Now, it could be a little bit tricky, right, to reactivate in the right way. And I'm saying that because it's really easy to start a reactivation campaign. However, it's a lot more difficult to do it right. And I think that what I'm hearing from you is that you do a lot of work on two things primarily: segmentation, to understand what are, the leads that you want to put into different strategies, and the offer that you're going to run. So when you think about segmentation and the offer for reactivation, how do you go about that?
So I try to have three different buckets. One bucket is old clients and try to reactivate them, because we've had clients that, okay, we didn't get them the best results, but now our product is much better. Like people that maybe was with us 3 years ago, 4 years ago when we will get started. Obviously our product is 100 times better. Let me see if I can get them back. It could be someone that has personal issues or health issues or different things, and then for that reason they left, nothing to do with the service. Let me see if 6 months down the line I can reactivate them. So I have one bucket for old clients, one bucket for everyone that I want to follow up with. So that's all the leads that I've been generating that I never even booked to a demo. I would also include there everyone that I pitched and didn't close. And then the third bucket would be the unqualified leads. Because someone that is unqualified now, in 6 months, they could be qualified. They could be qualified in 3 months from now. So I try to, for the unqualified list, I try to run it once a quarter for all that list. And then for the rest, I run it once a month. And I think that you don't have to overcomplicate it that much. You can either go, there's two ways that you can go it, either like direct offers, like, hey, I got this, give me a yes or no. Or you can also go the route of, I'm not gonna give you all the information or where I'm going with this. Let me just start a conversation. It can be like, hey doc, are you capable right now to take on another 20 implantations per month? I have something I want to share with you. People that might be at capacity won't answer. People that are in that can take them will answer you, and then you can kind of have that conversation with them. You can also go a route of like, hey, the first people that sign up will get 30 days for free of SEO. And then we get on the call with them, you try to sell them on 90 days. But it's like, hey, I'll give you the first 30 days for free. And that's an easy sell, because if you can produce results, like SEO people can stay 12 plus months, and the fulfillment side of things of SEO is not extremely expensive, so you can easily like give them 30 days for free. You can go the route of like, hey, let me give them a discount on my service, $1,000 discount, $1,500 discount, because I know that once you're in, most people stay. So you can go two routes. And again, it's all about testing. There's no like right method of like, hey, you have to go direct offer or you have to go open conversation. But I would try to do like 1 month direct offer, 1 month open conversation, 1 month direct offer, 1 month open conversation.
Cool.
And then have those different buckets. And what I would say is that try that sequence, run it. Don't run it when there's a couple of days left in the month. I would run it probably when it's like 10 days left in the month, and then try to have that sequence run for at least a week to 10 days, or 7 to 10 days. So you have enough time to call through all the leads, have enough time to get them on intros, get them on demos, and try to close them before the month end. And if you're not able to, keep the follow-up going. Like today is what? Today is the 8th of the month. My set are still going through every single lead that replied through our reactivation campaign of 3 weeks ago, that say that they were interested, and following up with them like if they were a new lead. So I'm gonna follow up with you until you hang up and tell me never to contact you again, or you jump on a call with me.
Okay, awesome. Well, agency owners, if you heard this and if you're with us right now, I'd say go back and watch this again, because Gabriel is a savage in terms of reactivation campaign. Definitely don't sleep on this, because I've talked to a lot of agency owners, and this is, a very, I'd say, detailed way to go through your leads, reactivate them. But not stumble on your own feet and complicate things too much.
Yeah.
Because something key that Gabriel said is like, dude, honestly, don't complicate it too much. And that's where I see a lot of other agency owners kind of stumbling, is that they want to get so specific with segmenting every tag, everything that they mention on the call, including myself, and not doing anything, right? And
And I would
so
also
that's
say that if you are in the local space, scrape your entire list, run it on ChatGPT, and then add a column with the city of where they're at, so it can be even more personalized and be like, hey, I'm looking for someone in this city.
right.
And if there are like an old client, like for example, this is how we were able to, just through this message, reactivate 3 old clients in one single month. Like it was the entire offer, but one part of the message was like, hey, I messaged you because we used to work together, and I'd love to, whatever, rank you higher on Google. I'd love to bring you more 20 implant patients, whatever your offer is. I'd love to scale your e-com business to another 50K a month, whatever that is. If it's in local, you can also add like, hey, if it's not something that you're interested in, let me know because I want to work with someone in Chicago.
That's going to increase conversion rates, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, you're really good at sales, you're really good at AI, and you're in a very competitive market, so you have to be good to stand out. But in terms of standing out, and when you think about personal branding, how do you look at being the face of your agency?
When it comes to being the face of my agency, like internally for my team, or like on the personal branding outside with the content.
Personal branding outside.
I would say that that's probably one of the things that I can improve on the most. I do put out content, but I'm not posting like every single month. I could be one of the things that really helped me when it comes to doing content, because I know that it can be really annoying to like consistently create every week. So what I would do with content is that I would grab one day of the month. So before that, I would prep like on a weekly basis every piece of content that I wanted to create. And let's say that I wanted to put out whatever your goal is. You say you want to do 5 pieces of content per month, 15, 20, 30, whatever that is. What I would do is that I would prep all that content before and then grab one single day and shoot all of the content in one day.
So do you
Walk
think
off for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever you need to do all that. And instead of having to consistently create content on a weekly or daily basis, you do that once a month for the entire month.
right, that I love that way of doing it, batching it, because you can get so much more done, right, when you're batching it. But you don't do it very much. You don't post content too much, and you're running a successful agency, right? So do you think that it's worth it to spend the time with the personal branding stuff?
I think that it also depends a lot in what niche that you're in. I've realized that for us in the dental space, dentists don't care that much about the personal brand.
Okay.
Even people that I'm seeing that are like even higher than us, I see their content, but it's not like niche related. It's not even dental related. They're just building their personal brand because of future businesses they might want to be able to do, or the networking that they want to do, but it's not like niche specific. I know someone that has like a almost 4 million a year agency and never posts anything at all. So I
Yeah.
think it depends. You have to look at your niche and where your people are, how much they spend, and how much they value the personal side of things. I think that in our niche, it's more like have great offers, have some content, obviously, so people know who you are and they
Right.
can look you up. But I would say that focus more on your product and your fulfillment, on sales and operations. That's what at least has worked for us.
Yeah. And, you know, I feel like sometimes people, and I love that reflection that it sounds like you went through in terms of looking at people in your space, you know, seeing if they're posting content or not. I mean, you said that there's an agency in your space doing 4 million a year, which is significant, right? That's like 380,000 a month. I mean, that's awesome. they don't post any content. So it's like, is it worth my time posting content just because everybody's saying you should? Right. And I feel like that's a reflection that you went through, which it sounds like you did. And it's an important reflection for other agency owners that maybe are in, the beginning of their agency. Maybe they're like in the 10 to 30K range a month. It's important to actually look in the market and reflect on what successful agencies in your space are doing to gauge if you should put more time into making your fulfillment super killer versus spending so much time personal branding. And dentists don't really even care about your personal brand.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with what you said.
Yeah. Now, in terms of like what dentists care about, right, when they see your offer, what are the things that they care about?
It varies so much from every month, but at least in our space, it's all about implants, cosmetic work, Invisalign. So just really focusing on what is it that they want and just bring them more of that. So in our space, it's usually those three things and just focus on that. But sometimes it can be like, hey, let me get you like this AI little thing. And it's this shiny object syndrome that for them it's like, wow, this is going to change my entire business. It's going to make some change, but it's not going to change your entire business. But that little thing reels them in. So you get them what they want, that shiny little thing, but then you sell them what they really need, which is, let me sell you the systems that you need, the boring stuff that is actually going to help you scale.
I was talking to my dentist recently, and she provides a very specific. So maybe that's somebody I can connect you with. She doesn't have anybody doing her marketing, but she sells super expensive procedures like veneers. Have you worked with dentists in that space?
I have, but I don't focus. So to get that again, I don't focus on the veneer space because most dentists are really bad at selling. It takes them a long time to learn that. And anything that is cosmetic related is not a need, it's a want. You don't need veneers. But if
Right,
you're missing a couple of teeth, you need implants, like you need new teeth.
right.
So
And
we don't focus on the cosmetic space that much is because dentists have to be extremely good at selling something that they don't really need and where they can easily be like, yeah, let me think about this or let me wait 6 months. Like if your business is not scaling, that's a deep pain that you have because
right.
you have walls in the
But you
sides.
don't really need plastic surgery. You
No,
don't really need a boob job, but you have a strong desire to get it as a woman.
of course. I would say that if you wanted to sell that, you'd be way better off on at least with veneers with like personal branding side than through ads.
Right. Yes. So that's what I actually told my dentist. Like I checked out her Instagram and I didn't see much of the sort of before and after work, like the case studies, because that's what I want to see as a consumer, right? I want to see like before and after. I want to see like how does your veneers look? Are they going to look natural? Are they going to look white? Are they going to look like you have clown teeth? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
bunny teeth. Like how well can you do the work? It's much more important for me, like the aesthetics of it, like you're saying, right? It's not like a canal. I know that whatever dentist, it's almost like a commodity to do a root canal or to do maybe like Invisalign. I would say, in my mind, you can disagree with me, but I would say that in my mind, getting Invisalign, which I've gotten, is like a commodity. However, getting veneers is different. That's more of an artistry because
Yeah.
there's a big range between somebody that can just do like veneer looking veneers and like porcelain beautiful Hollywood teeth that you can't even tell if it's
Yeah.
real or fake.
And I know that because when I went back to Venezuela after 10 years, I went back to my dentist there just to see her. And she's in her late 50s, early 60s. And then she smiled. I'm like, she's a dentist. I'm like, her smile is gorgeous. But in my mind, I never thought that it was veneers. I'm like, well, I haven't seen her in 10 years. She obviously takes care of her teeth really, really well. But it looked so natural that then she told me after that it was veneers. I'm like, wait, what? Obviously for her, she's like, I know exactly what I want. She obviously worked with someone that was gonna place her veneers, but she knows what lab to go to, what dentist to go to. She knows the exact instructions given to it. It looks like literally like if she wouldn't even have them. So with that, I think, yeah. Like the thing, like if you look at, for example, like plastic surgery and stuff like that, that's already like that's a very common thing that people get. Veneers is a very expensive treatment. You don't have like Botox doesn't cost that much compared to veneers. Like if you want to get like really, really good veneers, at least in the US, it can be 15, 20K if you want to do your full mouth.
Bro, you know what? Maybe we can work on something like, let me, ask you this and just kind of run it by you. Something you could think about. If you're interested, we can chat more about it. You've heard of like medical tourism, right? In the US, people go to like from the US to Tijuana to get, like, I don't know, to cut their stomach in half. You know what I mean? Like do some of the more expensive procedures, which is like a fifth of the price than it is in the US. They go down to, so it's called medical tourism, big industry, right? What about what about dentistry tourism for aesthetic procedures, right? It's easy. That's a big thing, right? Because in Brazil, you could get top-notch work done, like top-notch, like beautiful looking veneers for 40,000 Brazilian currency. So like, let's say 40 divided by 5 is what? It's like 7. 8,000? Yeah, 7. 7 to 8. So let's say 8,000. Huh? What?
Not that easy. 40 divided by 8.
Yeah, 40 divided by 8.
Oh, you said that
8,000.
it was, wait, how much was
Yeah,
like
40 divided by 5. So
by
that's
5?
around,
Yeah, it's 8,000.
yeah. So 8,000. In the US, I think this would cost maybe like 20 or 30,000 to get like the top notch, I'm saying, right? I know like I know really good dentists in São Paulo, which is just a flight, LA, there's a straight flight. Miami, there's a straight flight. Maybe working with dentists in Brazil to bring these leads or these like deals to them. But instead of selling a retainer or a leads appointment, we sell the package and take a conversion on like the deal sold. So it could be more profitable like per case as opposed to like, $1,500 to run their marketing a month, right? But instead we can charge per patient closed. They pay the cost of marketing, let's say, and then, but I mean, that's something I thought about because my dentist specifically, she's really good and I know that she's open for more business. And so if we found a way to bring like veneers patient, which it's not what you focus on, so that's why it may not be the best fit for you, but bring them to Brazil, like that could be pretty interesting,
Yeah, there's a huge
It's not
market
a
of
need, it's
Mexico
a
and
want.
Colombia with that.
Colombia?
Colombia, there's a big market for that. Also, Mexico. I'm not sure about Brazil,
Which is
but
closer, right? It's
for whatever treatment that they want, flight, hotel, plus a bunch of like tourism things to do, and it'll be less expensive than to go to the dentist down the road. And you'll get the exact same work. Why? And people are like, wait, why is it such a huge difference? One is cost of labor is 100 times higher in the US. Rent, like equipment, just your office rent, is much more expensive. You get the exact same quality of product. That still is probably the same price, but everything around it is cheaper. Labor is cheaper, rent is cheaper, utility bills are cheaper, and that's why they can charge less.
Yeah. And man, I've seen some work that's done in the US versus Brazil. I think Brazil stands out. And by the way, Brazil is like top 3 in the world in terms of plastic surgeries. Like
Yeah,
there's
obviously,
more
like,
plastic surgeries in Brazil than like a lot of different places in the world.
yeah. You might be like per capita, you might be like one of the biggest in the world.
Yeah, I know Mexico is pretty high and South Korea is pretty high. Brazil's also up there. You know, Brazilian women love their boob job, so and their nose job. Um, you know, depending on the circles you're in, that's all you see around. Now, switching gears a little bit more towards wrapping up this call, we always do a rapid fire round. So just whatever comes to mind, 1 to 30 seconds, just give your answer. Does that sound good?
Sure, go for it.
What's one tool or software that you can't live without in your agency?
ClickUp.
How many niches are you actively involved in right now?
1.
What's a client case study that you're the most proud of?
I would say our client David Gonzalez, Radiant Smiles, that we've generated like multiple 6 figures for him.
Wow. Off how much ad spend?
Can't remember, but it was like over 10x. Yeah, between 10 and 20x return on the ad spend.
That's amazing. Now, what's your average monthly ad spend for client acquisition that you're spending on your agency to acquire dental practices?
15K.
If you could automate just one part of your business, what would it be?
If I could automate one part of my business, what would that be? The next thing that I want to do, which is automating the entire like call center part, which is calling the patients and booking them and fully automating that process.
All right, now you may have to dig this one a little bit down in your brain, okay? What's one unique tactic that you've used to acquire new clients? What's one unique tactic that you've used in the past to acquire new clients?
I got my setter. I bought him a used iPhone, and then I bought him a US number so that he could iMessage our leads.
Nice. Are you still doing that now?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. So what's one marketing trend that you think is overhyped right now?
It's one marketing trend that is overhyped right now. I would say AI video creation.
Oh my God, everybody's posting that.
Dude, everyone, like right now, everyone is just posting like Sora 2 videos on their posts, and I'm like, it's not that. I mean, it's good, but it's not that exciting. At least when you're in the agency world. Maybe for people that have no idea what AI is, they look at it and be like, wow, that's amazing. But I feel like it's overhyped. I mean, it's good. It is. It's gonna change a lot of things, but it's overhyped.
And it's not looking that good. Like people are posting as if it's looking that good. It's not.
I mean, it's gonna get there very, very fast.
Yeah, it's
Versus
gonna
that.
get there very, very fast, but it's still not in terms of like everybody posting and bragging about it, you know?
I would say that the best videos are the ones that someone has already recorded themselves. They're like more like talking head videos, and all that they're changing is their lips to like say what they would want to say. So you probably have seen like a ton of accounts. You know who Icon is?
Yes, I can't remember him right now, but I've heard his name.
Long hair, the guy from Clever, the guy who runs all the like the event, the event.
Is his handle Icon?
Yeah, can't remember the exact, but it's Icon something.
Is this it?
It's all blurry, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's him.
Oh, whatever.
Anyway, so he has a full like AI channel on Instagram that he created, and it's all fully automated and created for him. So it creates all the videos and uploads automatically, I think too. But it's just him in front of a camera. So really the AI part is the voice and the lip movement, not the entire video from scratch.
Is it Iconic Backer?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see a lot of agency owners following him. Whoa, he only has 5,000 followers? Maybe that's not the one.
Yeah, but he has like six figures on the like AI account that he has.
Oh, okay.
He has one account that he built, and it's called like AI something. Maybe he'll have it in his description.
Yeah, it's not there.
Promoting
But
him. Icon, if you
anyway,
hear this, we want to get paid for this promotion.
um, yeah, no, for sure. I know like some agency owners using it for content and it's working out for them. There are people right now there that are using it really well, and I didn't even realize it was AI after they mentioned. So, so yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
get there. I'm excited about it. I
me
think
too.
it's overhyped to what it is right now. I agree with you.
Yeah.
100% agree with your hot take. Now, if you had to choose only one channel to grow your agency today, which one would it be?
Facebook ads.
Let's go, man. You're sharp. Well, dude, that's all I got, and it was super fun. Like I love the chemistry we had on this podcast. I feel like we were able to kind of spend more time talking about the sales funnel strategy that you have, the re-engagement campaign. So there's a lot of value for agency owners when it comes to that. Also, sub-niching and going a little bit outside of the box, right? Like you're focusing on one country for a different language. So there's a lot of value that people can get from that point and think how that could apply for their niches and where they're at. But, you know, in terms of what applies to agency owners and what they can take away from this podcast, what's one advice that you have for agency owners that are starting out?
Spend all your profits on ads at the beginning. That's what's going to scale you faster. Call your leads right away and don't give up until they either tell you to F off or buy from you.
And where can listeners connect with you to learn more about yourself or the Digital Smile?
I would say through just my personal Instagram. Like it's my last name, Segall, so Segallg.
Cool. And as a reminder, that's also going to be in the show notes, guys and girls. So if you want to connect with Gabe, that's where you would go to. And well, thank you for joining us, Gabe. And for everyone listening, make sure that you subscribe to Growth Lab Sessions so you never miss an episode. And if this conversation inspired you, share it with a friend and follow me on Instagram at JOWAU for more strategies to grow your agency and your freedom. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next podcast.